Hi guys, today we are doing, in chemistry we are doing a topic called the periodic table, okay? To start with, I want to encourage you, okay, how to go if you want to get a distinction in chemistry, okay? Please, chemistry, it is a very simple subject. All you need to do is to understand the concept, the idea. Okay, you can write it using your own English, but don't destroy the chemistry. Okay, that is very important. Okay, let us go back and deal with this new topic in our chemistry. Okay, now it is called the periodic table. So the first thing that we need to understand it is the word periodic table itself. What does it mean? Okay, what does this phrase mean to us? Okay, now you need to understand they have already told us it is a table, so it is a table. Okay, but this table, what type of a table is this? Okay, we are saying that it is a table that contains, okay, these are the things that you are expecting to find on a periodic table. I believe you have a periodic table with you, so I want you to look on your periodic table so that you compare with what I'm trying to say, so that you can get the fully the precise understanding. Okay, now we are saying that a periodic table is simply the table that contains elements. That is the first thing. It contains elements. Then apart from that, we are saying they are chemical symbols. So on the periodic table, you are expecting also to find the chemical symbols. Then apart from that, on the periodic table, you are expecting to find what we call the groups. Okay, you are expecting to find the groups as well as the periods. Okay, you are expecting to find the periods. Then apart from that, you are expecting to find what we call atomic mass number. Atomic mass number. Then the last thing that you are going to find on the periodic table is called atomic number. Okay, so those are the things that we are expecting to find on the periodic table, and that gives us what we call the definition for the periodic table. Okay, I'll explain it more when we'll look at the entire periodic table, just like we are trying to do. Okay, now here we have a diagram. Okay, this diagram, it is an image of what we call a periodic table. It is just an image for a periodic table. Okay, now I may not draw it neatly, but you need to understand to say the concept still remains the same. Okay, now let us look at this periodic table in this way. Okay, now periodic table, it contains what we call the groups. Okay, it has what we call the groups. Apart from that, it has also what we call the periods. Okay, now we need to look at what are these two things that we have just mentioned. Okay, what is a group? So we need to define a group. Okay, apart from this, we need also to define the period of the periodic table. The period of the periodic table. Okay, let me define a group for you. Okay, a group, it is simple. I'll give you a number of definitions. Let me write them here. Okay, so a group, it is simply the whole. It is simply the vertical. It is the vertical line of the periodic table. So that we call it a group. Now the last one that I'll tell you, I define the group as the number of electrons of an element on its outermost shell. Okay, so if we draw what we call electronic configuration, okay, for example, we know to say that lithium, okay, lithium, it has the number of electrons 3. So if I write what we call electron configuration for this one, which is 2, 1, okay, 2, 1. Okay, which means that this is the first shell and this is the outer shell. Okay, so this number of electron on the outermost shell of this particular element tells me its group, okay, the group where it belongs. So lithium, it is in group 1 of the periodic table. You can even check there on your periodic table. So that is another definition for what we call the group of the periodic table. So we are saying that it is the number of electrons on the outermost shell of an element. Okay, the immediate one. Okay. Now, apart from this, let us look at what we call the period of the periodic table. The period of the periodic table. Okay, how do we define this? Okay, period. Okay, it is simply these lines here. You have seen these lines here. Okay. Okay, these lines here, horizontal lines now. These lines here. Okay, you have seen them? Okay, these lines are the ones which they are called periods. Okay, so periods, they are simply horizontal lines on these are horizontal lines on a periodic table. Okay, so we are saying it is, since it is singular, it is a horizontal. It is the horizontal line of the periodic table. Then my second definition for a period is simple. Okay, now if you draw electronic configuration, okay, like I did for lithium, its chemical symbol is that one. It has a 3 number of electrons and protons. Now, which means if I write electronic configuration, it will be 2, 1. Now, let me give you another element, which is sodium. Sodium, it has the number of electrons which is equal to 11. Okay, 11. If I write its electronic configuration, remember the minimum should be 2. Then there is how many remaining there? Okay, there is 9 remaining. Okay, so which means we have 8. Okay, that is a maximum number of electrons that a shell can accommodate. Okay, then apart from this, which means when we add these 2, we get a 10. So which means there is 1 for it to be complete. 1, we put it there. So which means that also this element, it is also in group 1. But in which period does it belong? Okay, now if we can count first, let us start with the lithium. Lithium, it is in group 1, but in which period? We count the number of arrangement there. Okay, you have seen. What is the number of arrangement of electronic configuration? You realize it is 2. So, which means that it has, this element, it belongs in period 2 of the periodic table. So, it is in period 2 of the periodic table. Now, look at this one again. You count the number of electronic configuration, which is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so which means it is in period 3. Okay, now this number of electronic configuration, number of arrangement of electronic configuration, they can also be considered to be shells. Why? It is because these numbers, they are on shells. Okay, so this one, it is a shell, this one, it is also a shell. So it has 2 shells, it has 3 shells. So this number of shells of this particular element, it is equal to period. That is my second definition for what we call period. Okay, so period, the second definition we are saying, it is the number of shells that an element have. Okay, so that is the definition, please. Okay, let us continue now. Okay, now apart from the group, okay, let us talk about the groups in details. The groups in details. Now we need to understand that group 1 element, okay, group 1 element, they are given a special name. Okay, they are given a special name. The name, it is called alkali. Okay, they are called alkali. Now, why are they given the name alkali? It is because when these elements, group 1 elements, they react with water, they produce what we call an alkali solution. An alkali solution. So this is the reason why they are called alkali, okay, metals. They are called alkali metals. So let me write it down. Okay, so we are saying that group 1 element so group 1 elements are given a name